Hey, dude, it's your boy Nextstop Sirchcity. Welcome back to another episode of the Food We Watch podcast. We are on episode 65. Yo, I just want to say, me and Nita Tings, we have been doing this. I believe we started this in 2023, so about 2 years now. I came to her and was like, look, I want to do a podcast because me and her, we watch these cooking shows and then we would talk about it sometimes. And I'm like, why don't we talk about it to the people? So never dreamt of being a podcaster. I watched a ton of podcasts. Shout out to Kevin on Stage. Here's the Thing. Angel is just going to cause an argument. Squadcast, ADD. I watched tons of podcasts all day, but I never thought I would actually be in that group. So now that we're getting deeper into the numbers, episode 65, I'm like, you know what? Got to stop thinking small. That's what she said. And I just, got to see this as something that can grow and potentially be something that is watched worldwide. So I do want to thank the people, the 7 people that normally watches this podcast every week. Thank you for tuning in. We want this podcast to grow, so make sure you tell a friend, share with everybody. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe on all platforms at Normals Be Chefing and including YouTube. Make sure you hit that sub button so that we can get those noties going so you can know whenever we drop recipes and podcast episodes and interviews. Currently, right now, you can go to our YouTube page at Normals Be Chefing and watch the interview with season 13 uh, um, contestant James Barfield. Amazing interview. He has a lot of information about himself and what's going on since the show. Make sure you support that interview. Run those numbers up if you can, and you will. Make sure you follow us on our podcast pages on IG and TikTok at the Food We Watch Pod. Help support your homies and make sure this becomes the #1 podcast in the world. But right now, let's talk about it. All right, so this weekend or a couple weekends ago was the Roots Picnic 2025, where they held it in Philly as usual, my hometown. Shout out Philly. But we had acts such as D'Angelo, we had Meek out there, we had Glorilla, Lenny Kravitz, a variety of artists out there. But what I want to do is what I want to talk about today is I want to highlight some of the food, some of the people that was out there cooking, the ones that I saw come across my timeline on IG. I just want to shout out the amazing job the chefs from my area, whether it's Philly or Delco, did this weekend. All of the content I watch, I've seen so many people enjoying all of the food that you guys cooked. So shout out Chef Nicole. I've shouted you out before. Her restaurant is Everybody Eats Cafe in Chester. Make sure you follow her at Everybody Eats Cafe on IG. And you always got to shout out Auntie Saud from Country Cooking, putting her thing that I need some of that seafood salad. I'm gonna have to go pop up on her because the food is always amazing. She always gonna call you back. But shout out Auntie Saud. Everybody go follow her at Country Cooking 1 on IG. And last but not least, we had Chef Deke. He was out there with them blue crabs looking crazy good. And one of my favorite foods is crabs. So I saw him pull up on Big Mulatto over the weekend during the Roots Picnic. Got her right. Got her on point. So shout out Chef Deke. Please follow him at Chef_Deek, DEEK on IG. Follow all of these people. These are people from the area that's really putting in that work, doing their thing, and is on the rise, and are my people, Black people. We are trying to do the thing and trying to turn away a lot of the discussion about how Philly culture is, and they've been putting on for a while. So I just wanted to give them a shout out on today's episode of the Food We Watch Pod. All right, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode, we are watching Master Chef Season 14, Episode 2. This is the battle of the ages, the generations. You feel me? Baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z all come together to group in the groups of 4 to win, to have an opportunity to win $250,000 in the Master Chef trophy. This episode was focused on the baby boomers. These are our parents or grandparents. They had a certain style of cooking. And the judges, they're basically looking for that 1940s to 50s early style cooking, but elevated. This episode, it has special guests. Lydia. Now, see, I don't want to say Joe's mom. I'm not gonna say this last name, but she's Joe's mom. She looks just like, well, he looks just like her, but she has been in the cooking world for most of her life. She's a chef. She's done many a cookbook. She's been a restaurateur. She's worked with thousands of the top chefs in the world, and she is on the episode today judging. So, first up is Rebecca. She is from Castle Rock, Colorado. She is 63. She is a retired opera singer. This woman has 5 kids and 8 grandkids. So she has plenty of people to practice on with her food. This episode, for her audition, she did a deep fried pork chop with sour cream mash. I've never had sour cream mash. Brussels sprouts, hash, and a jalapeno white gravy. At one point, she did tell Gordon to fuck off. That shit was hilarious. This is when she was in the middle of cooking and he came out to look at what she was doing, and jokingly she told him to fuck off. So that was a little funny. As far as the dish, it looked dated. They said it looks like the plate was put together in the dark, but the cooking was spot on. It was exceptional. Feels like the dish was giving you a hug. So what they did was they bypassed, because that could be fixed, plating, we can work on that. Due to the fact that she had a great dish, she got a resounding 4 yeses. So Rebecca from Castle Rock, Colorado is the first team member of Baby Boomers. Next, we have Derek Green, 59. He has 6 kids, 15 grands, and 2 great grands. Didn't really see where he was from, but this guy was cooking a sticky pork belly, creamy smoked Gouda grits with a sunny side up quail egg. Breakfast for dinner, which a lot of baby boomers have done over the years. Even I've grown up that way, where I'm pretty sure we all have done it. Mom don't really feel like cooking. One of the easiest thing to cook is breakfast. Breakfast for dinner. We've done it growing up. The judges said the dish looks elevated. The pork belly was good. The season was good, but the grits were chewy. And for that, unfortunately, Derek Green was not able to make it on this season of MasterChef. Next, we have Warren. Warren, 70 years old, from Neptune, New Jersey, is a flight attendant. Joe and Mom go to visit Warren. Warren is starstruck. He grew up watching Joe's mom, and now that he's on the show with Joe, he just couldn't believe he was given that opportunity. He is making a chicken picanha, pureed potatoes, roasted asparagus with a lemon fennel vinaigrette. The judges said looks like a classic boomer dish. It looks like the smoothness of the mash, and the chicken was cooked perfectly. Joe feels like it was an excellent dish for children, and it was too simple. Again, come on, Joe. We always got to have one of them ones. We always got to have some ops out here. You feel me? With the judging, Gordon gave the dish a yes. Aaron gave the dish a yes. Joe gave the dish a no. And Lydia, his mom, gave a dish a yes. So Warren is the second contestant added to Team Boomer for this season of Master Chef. Congratulations. Next, we have Horatio, 62, from Nashville, Tennessee. He is originally from Brazil. He is an automotive executive. He loves cooking Brazilian food, but not good at plating. He loves cooking Brazilian food, but he's really not good at plating. He said he plates like a truck driver. He is making a Brazilian dish. I'm going to try to pronounce it. I think it's called moquecha. Moquecha. I don't know. I'm from Philly. We don't say words like that there. But it's a Brazilian coconut shrimp stew with a white rice. The judges said it looks old fashioned. Joe asked, did he peel the peppers? Now, I've been cooking for a while. I didn't know you were supposed to peel your green peppers, but you don't necessarily have to peel the skin off of the peppers. It's only if you want a softer cook on them. I've never cooked. I've never peeled them. Even Joe's mom was like, you ain't gotta peel like the pepper. Like nobody acts. Nobody really does that. Other than that, the flavors were good. It was cooked to perfection. Lydia said yes. Joe again says no. I don't know if he liked anybody from the Boomers. Joe said no. Aran said yes, and Gordon said yes. So Horatio from Brazil, by way of Tennessee, will make up the third contestant of this season for the Boomers. Now, before we continue, as we stated before, every day, the United States has a national food holiday. Let's go over what today's national food holiday is. On June 18th, the United States observes National Cherry Tart Day, a delightful occasion to savor this sweet and tangy dessert. While the exact origin of the National Cherry Tart Day are not well documented, it aligns with the border tradition of celebrating specific foods on designated days. In addition to the National Cherry Tart Day for June 18th, it also recognized as Sustainable Gastronomy Day, an international observance established by the United Nations in 2016. This day highlights the importance of sustainable food practices, promotes food security, agricultural development, and the conversation between biodiversity. It engages individuals and communities to consider the environment and the culture impact of their food choices. So we celebrate this on two levels. Guys, I have never had cherry tart to know if it's good, but I think today I'm going to try some. All right. Next contestant up is Geeks. I believe he pronounced it. His real name is Chris, but that's his nickname. 60 years old from Bradenton, Florida, by way of New England. He's a personal trainer. He's not your typical baby boomer where you just eat the steak and mash and things like that. He grew up liking to eat on a healthier side. He is a personal trainer. Um, Now, during him during his audition, he did have Gordon and Chef Aaron get a workout. He had them doing a push-up challenge, and I think Gordon won. But he did a pan-seared salmon, mango chutney with a sauteed spinach and some jasmine rice. He was a little worried that this was going to be too healthy. Didn't really see much seasoning going on with this, so we're going to see what happened. The judges also felt like it looked too simple. The cook was spot on though, especially for the salmon, but it needed some more seasoning. But due to the fact that he did a good job on that fish and everything was still cooked to perfection, Aaron gave him a yes. Gordon said nah. Lydia was like, you know what? I'm cool with it. And surprisingly, the most simple dish, Joe was like, sure, yes. So Geeks is the newest contestant on the Master Chef season 14 for the Boomers. Good job. Next up, we have is Cowboy Owl. He did the roasted venison, a cucumber sauce, heirloom tomatoes, asparagus, and whipped mash. Now, him not paying attention, he started to overcook that venison. Venison is a more leaner meat, so I believe it cooks a lot faster. So you got to keep an eye on that. He started to overcook it. Time was running out. He had to go ahead and fire up a new piece of venison. By him doing this, time runs out. He forgets to add his asparagus to the plate. So time got away from him. Unfortunately, he's supposed to be one of these, I think he's from Texas or somewhere, and supposed to be able to control his meat. This episode, he was not able to do so. The judges said they needed more on the plate than a slice of tomato. The cook on the venison was medium rare, not rare. So unfortunately, Cowboy Owl did not make this season of MasterChef. Last but not least, we have Chris, 59, from New Hope, New Jersey. He is a dentist. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer and went through 6 months of chemo. During this time, he met his father, his birth father. I believe he was raised or conceived in Japan and then came over to America. I believe his dad may have done some things while they were in the war and he was overseas or in the army or whatever. Either way, he met his dad during this time period. They've been getting close. He did the Japanese fried chicken. He did the yuzu mayo succotash with the he did the Japanese fried chicken, karaji, the yuzu mayo shiitake mushrooms, gomuku rice, and a pickled red dragon fruit. That was hard to say. The judges said he played it like a boomer, but it felt very fulfilling. It was comfort food that they loved to eat, although the chicken was bland, but it was very crispy, something that he could work on. The rice was delicious and enough to be its own dish. So, did Chris make it onto the show? Yes, he did. Chris got 4 yeses, or 3 yeses, I should say, which was all he needed to round out that baby boomers team for MasterChef season 14 Generations. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching another episode. I know these episodes are a little shorter than normal, but again, we are on just the audition side of MasterChef season 14. Once we get into the weeds, I'm pretty sure we'll have these episodes be a little longer. Before you go, make sure you like, share, subscribe to all of our platforms, on all of our platforms. Normals be chefing. If you want to get to know me a little bit more, you can follow me on IG at Sirchcity. TikTok is at Nextstop Sirchcity. And even though Nita's not here, if you want to get to know or see what she's up to, you can always follow her at Nita.foodphoto on IG. I believe it's Nita Food Photo or Nita.foodphoto on TikTok. And if you don't have time to watch full episodes, please follow us on our channel page, which is at The Food We Watch Pod on IG and TikTok. Before we go, I just want to shout out again those people that was at the Roots Picnic. Make sure you also go follow Chefany Nicole and her pages on her page on IG. Everybody Eats Cafe at Everybody Eats Cafe. Auntie Saul from Country Cooking at Country Cooking 1 on IG, and Chef Deke at Chef_Deke. Before we go, I gotta let you know that good things come and good things go. Life is like a box of chocolate. Sometimes that should be melting.